Hey guys, it's Gold Junior Plus back down on today, and in today's Pokemon Presents, it was pretty crazy. It actually started out pretty boring, but they finished it off with a bang. Actually, introducing Pokemon Legends ZA. I don't know if they want to call it ZA or Z-A. I'm guessing ZA. So that's what I'm gonna go with for this video. But I want to talk a little bit about it. It's the next major title in the Pokemon series. And I don't think it'd be right if I didn't go in depth about what I think about it and a lot of different things surrounding it. Of course, we don't know much about it. It was only a teaser trailer. I don't think it was any more than 2 minutes long. But it was definitely enough, and I have a lot of speculation to do. So make sure you subscribe if you like Pokemon, add in or really any type of content that you see on my channel. Because I'm trying to keep variety, but also keep the sports theme around Gold Junior Plus. Make sure to subscribe to my other channel, Gold Junior, where we do more gameplay-focused videos. And to get right into it. So, the most speculation that was going around before Pokemon Presents actually happened due to Pokemon Day was that there was going to be like a Pokemon Let's Go, Togepi and Wooper, I think those were the two Pokemon. Or like a black and white remakes, or just Johto remakes, or Pokemon Legends Celebi. I didn't really have a prediction. I didn't predict anything that was going to happen. I would have been happy whenever. But people were pretty surprised that Pokemon Unova remakes weren't what happened. But I also saw a few people explain that they didn't want to make Unova remakes right after they introduced Blue Blade Academy, which is related to Unova. So a lot of people already knew that was off the table. Me personally, I didn't know any of the leaks. I didn't watch any leaks or anything because I didn't really care about them. But I didn't have any predictions. So I guess and no Johto yet. I'm fine with waiting for that region, though, because I don't really care for Johto and its Pokemon. And Unova, I literally just beat Pokemon Black, so I didn't really have a need to go through it, beat it once again. Pokemon X and Y were pretty interesting games to the series. First ever 3D games. First to implement the XP share. And now we've got a new addition to Generation 6 in Pokemon ZA. And it'll be focused on Lumio City. Now, this is interesting. Because we don't know if when they say focus on Lumio City, if they mean it's going to be kind of like the Jubilee Village, or if it's going to be like 90% of the game is you doing various things, like city building or whatever, in Lumios. It's very hard to tell what they meant by focusing or whatever on Lumios, because it's a Pokemon game. You've got to go outside in the tall grass in the wilds and see Pokemon, right? We don't know. They said this is a very unique take on the Pokemon franchise, so you really don't know if Pokemon's going to still stick with the thing that works, which is going outside in the mountains, the deserts, the rainy jungles, or whatever. Rainy jungles is only really in Scarlet and Violet with Tree Thicket, or if they're going to actually focus more on the city, which also be fine with that, because the cities kind of sucked in Scarlet and Violet. Most of them didn't really add much to the games. So I'd be really excited to see what they can do with Leo City this time around, especially because even though it was very fun to explore my first playthrough, in further playthroughs of X and Y, I only cared about the important buildings in Lumios. I'm hoping we get kind of a... If this game is from the future, I want a kind of futuristic cyber feel to it. If it's from the past, I want to see them actually continue to build the city as you progress through the game. But we'll get more through the past and future later. Next, we got... now, these are two pretty big parts of the Pokemon X and Y lore. You got AZ, which was a storyline that honestly was kind of bad. It's just because it wasn't developed enough. Now, I can understand the emotional plot points for AZ and his Floette, but you hear about this story like 3-4 times. You hear about it at one point, then he kind of comes back and then says something, leaves. Then he gets captured by what's his name? Lysander, for some reason, gives you some, like, I guess, motivation, and then you beat Lysander and then he has this happy moment where he gets his floette back or whatever. It's really confusing. It's just not developed at all. They clearly wanted to do something, probably with a Pokemon Z, to really develop AZ's character, but they just never did it. So he really felt empty. But now they actually get a chance to, if this year in the future or the past, to develop on AZ's character or give us some more backstory on him, which is really important because he's one of the most wasted potential characters. We really don't know much about him. Of course, we learned the backstory, but we don't really see anything in depth besides just what the stories say. And next we got Zygarde, which is also weird because he just didn't do much, especially in the main story. If you played through the main story of X, you literally or why you will not encounter Zygarde. You just will not. Zygarde has no presence in that game, so that makes it even weirder. Pokemon X and Y is really empty games. But now I think Zygarde is going to be not like the Arceus from Pokemon Legends Arceus, but it's going to be the main legendary. Maybe you catch Xerneas or Veltal earlier, and then Zygarde will be like the main attraction instead of it being Xerneas for X and Yveltal for Y. Also, this also means since it'll probably just be Pokemon Z through A, ZA, whatever, there probably won't be any version exclusive, so it'll be a pretty good chance to complete the Pokedex and such. But also, I also want to mention that since this is like a couple of years after Pokemon Legends Arceus came out, this will probably have a very improved battling system, because even though Pokemon Legends Arceus were great games, their battling system was broken and terrible. That's one thing I will say. But yeah, Zygarde and AZ, can't wait to see them get more development throughout this game. But what's going to be set in the past and in the future? Even though the trailer really made it look like this was going to be a future-esque game, people are saying that it's still going to be in the past. And while I did think it was going to be the future based off the trailer, it does make more sense for it to be in the past. It still can't be 100% sure yet, but what I would prefer the future. Now, I think seeing Neos become what it is today would be very interesting. Seeing past forms of these characters, descendants, would be interesting. But wouldn't you really like to see, like, AZ somehow still alive, and then ancestors of the... Would it be the other way around? Descendants of these already beloved characters like honestly, there's not that many good characters in X and Y. But at least Serena or the other rival, whichever one you are, female or male, because it'll probably change based off of who you choose. Then you've got Diantha, I guess. To be honest, Gen 4 had a lot of iconic characters. Gen 6 didn't. Gen 6's characters are actually probably way better in the anime than the games, with Alon and Sawyer and such, especially because Tierno, Trevor, and even Shauna were pretty empty characters in the first game, in their games. Well, in the anime, they try to flesh them out a little bit more. So maybe the past would be better for the characters, but for everything that the game is standing for, I think the future actually might be more interesting to see how the defeat of Lysander and Team Flare actually moved about, like, the region. And I just really want to see Pokemon give their take on a futuristic new metropolitan city. But I can't deny being able to see the Great War or whatever of Kalos in action, maybe even be able to choose sides, fight with AZ or against AZ, would be extra interesting. People say there's going to be like timeline hopping. I'd be insanely, like, that'd be absurd for Pokemon to try to do. They actually decided to jump timelines. I think that's too ambitious for Pokemon right now. I wouldn't expect that. I wouldn't get my hopes up. But I think it's going to be from the past. I wish it was from the future. But I think the final part of the trailer maybe been like the most overlooked. The Mega Evolution sound and symbol at the end basically guarantees that there's going to be more Mega forms. They wouldn't bring it into the trailer like that if there was just going to be the returning ones. They're adding new Mega forms, and that's basically confirmed. That's all they need to show to come further. They're bringing new and probably existing megas back in to Generation 9. Which, honestly, I never care for Mega Evolutions. I like some, but most of them, they kind of just exist for me. I started with Z moves that moved back into Mega Evolutions. Outside the anime, I think Mega Evolutions are kind of mid, but I can't lie, the designs are amazing. And then they're gonna be not only making evolutions, but now with all their creative designs nowadays, these Mega Evolutions are going to be crazy. And I know there's a lot of Mega Evolutions people specifically want to see, but I don't care what Mega Evolutions they are, as long as they have plot relevance and they're good and you can use them in the game. And like Pokemon X, where you can barely, you can use your starters and then your Cantonian stars, and then Lucario, and then the rest you have to have a specific Pokemon, because only some can be caught. Some Megastars can be found before the post game. A lot of them can't, which is just weird. We're hoping in this new one you get to get most of the Megas at least the new Megas before post game. But speaking of specific Megas, I am going to make a video detailing who I would like to see get Megas the most. But just in general, Mega Evolution is basically a free marketing for Pokemon. Not only will they be able to make new forms that people will love, they'll also easily be able to sell merchandise based off of these new cool Megas. Which they're not going to make a new Charizard, right? That's very unlikely. But they're going to probably capitalize on more of the popular Pokemon nowadays, like Ceruledge, Armarouge, possibly. But I don't know, it might be too soon for them. Maybe some Gen 7, Gen 8 Pokemon. I expect to see them get some Megas. It's definitely a Gen 6 Pokemon or two. But, yeah, that's what I think. And I don't want to get anybody's hopes up too much about Mega Evolution, but I'd be very surprised if they didn't introduce a lot more. But that's all I'm going to say for today. There's still a lot more I want to talk about. I'm going to keep this video shorter. Stay tuned for other Pokemon ZA news. See you guys later. Adios.